Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. So today we are doing a testing of a new foundation. So this is the new Urban Decay Face Bond foundation. So as soon as they announced this, I was really wanting to try it like as soon as possible, but of course UK are always like one of the last places to get these new type of makeup products. But yeah, this is a new foundation by Urban Decay, and I've heard mixed things about this. I've heard people say that it's really good. I've heard things that it's not as good as people kind of are saying it is. And with me, I've always been here and there with Urban Decay because sometimes their products really do appeal to me and they are amazing, and just the way that they work for me particularly work really well. And then just some things that just don't really work well for me. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of their eyeshadow palettes, and some of their other products I'm kind of like, I'm not too bothered about. But when they announced that they were coming out with a new foundation, I really wanted to try it. So this is the waterproof foundation, up to 24 hours wear. All these brands coming out with this kind of like longevity of their foundation. Like, I really want to know if people actually try these on for 24 hours, because I tested a Maybelline one the other day and it said it was up to 30 hours wear. Who tests these? Please let me know. So this has also got 3% niacinamide, which is good for, I believe, for like acne and stuff like that. And then can't feel coverage. So you don't feel that it's on. Okay, fair enough. And one thing that I do find quite interesting about the foundation as well, and it's mainly the packaging, that it's the kind of applicator that it comes with. So I have the shade, is it number 3 Fair Warm, and yeah, you get this really small applicator, so it's kind of like a controlled applicator, so you don't over pour out too much product. But yeah, today we are going to test this out and see what it's like. Is it worth the hype? Is it worth my excitement? Because there's been so many foundations that I've wanted to try and just haven't had an opportunity, like the About Face foundation. I really want to try it, but they're just not coming to the UK, so I'm just kind of making my way through other ones. But yeah, I'm very excited. I don't have like a primer on. The only thing I have is a moisturizer by Elf, because I just didn't know what primer to use, to be honest, with something like this. But this is a medium to, I think it's like a light to medium coverage. Yeah, lightweight, medium to buildable. So we shall see. I'm going to use my brush today because I personally don't feel that a sponge would probably do much for it. So yeah, I'm excited because I've had this for about a week now and I haven't really had a chance to try it. So let's get this on and see what will happen. So, oh, it's a little bit coming out. Okay, I like the fact that it is obviously not pouring out way too much. So I'm going to start off with a little bit and then we'll kind of build it up towards the rest of my face, because I mean, again, I don't know what it's kind of like coverage wise. It is obviously medium, like it's a buildable coverage, but with me I kind of want to see how it works with my rosacea, because for me I really want to kind of cover that, and I really want to just not feel like it's too cakey. So this also mentions that you don't have to powder down and that it's sweat proof. And as someone who, not to be graphic, but obviously I'm being quite honest here, in this room it is very warm, and even if I have a fan on I get very sweaty. During the summer it has been pretty frustrating for me. Like, I haven't worn as much makeup this year because I have other things going on. Like, just having time to put on makeup is kind of a last thing for me. But yeah, kind of when it has been the summer and I've been kind of putting on makeup, I haven't been putting on like an excessive amount. So this is the first side, and so far we're looking really good. Shade wise, I'm actually quite surprised that it looks quite well, because this is Fair Warm and there are quite a few shades, but obviously because I bought this online and it's a bit difficult sometimes to kind of match myself. But I was looking at the models and just trying to figure out which one would work for me. But it's not feeling too tacky. We're just going to continue with the other side. And yeah, so when it comes to like foundations, I've been wanting to kind of not use super full coverage, even though that is my main type of foundation to go for. I've tried a few foundations this year, and the Maybelline one that I mentioned, which was called the Superstay, I think it's called like Lumi, like the luminosity one, is very, very nice. And that's obviously quite an affordable one because that's £12.99, whereas this foundation, I believe, is like £38. So it, for me, isn't really like, it's not affordable, and it's not one that I would continuously buy. I've just been wanting to try this for so long, and so of course my curiosity gets the better of me, where I'm kind of like, I need to try it. And because I'm not going to be buying as much makeup anyway, I thought to myself, let's just buy it and see what it's like, because Urban Decay are coming out with a lot of more things recently. Like, they've just relaunched their Naked palette, like their OG one, and I'm not really bothered about um their kind of their eyeshadows, to be honest. Like, for me, I would rather go for a brand that's a bit more affordable. And when it comes to this, why is this not coming out? There we go. I'm just adding a tiny bit more because coverage wise is getting there, but again, because it's buildable, I just want to add a little bit more on each side. And I'm not going to add a concealer because I just want to see how it works by itself. But yeah, when it comes to some other products, I mean, the other thing that I have is their blush, which I've been really here and there about, so I'm using it today kind of on top of this, just to see how it would work. But because this says this is sweat proof, I'm starting to feel my top lip getting a little bit like, kind of misbehaving slightly. So that's why I'm kind of wanting to see what it's like, because I can definitely tell straight away if it will just start separating, because right here it will just look horrendous. So I'm just going to blend this in a bit more. Okay, so now that I've kind of applied as much as I feel like is enough, when it comes to kind of first impressions, coverage wise, it looks really great. Like, if you kind of think how I started off with obviously my bare face, my red skin, you can't tell that I have rosacea essentially. Like, it's covered it pretty well, and it's not obviously full coverage, so obviously I'm not going to be able to cover up a lot of my spots and some of my other kind of areas, which is fine. Again, I always put other products on top to kind of hide all of that. I'm not going to use a powder because it does say you don't need a powder, so I'm going to see how it goes. My top lip is starting to kind of seep through, but I'm going to put on the rest of like some more makeup, basically kind of speed things up a bit, and then at the end we'll see how everything looks. Okay, that was just something really simple for me to do, because obviously the rest of the face, I'm not concentrating on it, but this is my finished look altogether. And you know what? I haven't done like the best job today applying everything, but the foundation is the main look thing today. And you know what? I do feel like it is quite drying on my skin, and I don't know if it is because I don't essentially have a primer, or the fact that it could be quite a drying foundation anyway. My top lip is starting to kind of come through, and I'm trying to not aggravate it as much. But if this is claiming that it is sweat proof, I mean, it's water, sweat and humidity proof, smudge and transfer resistant. I personally do not think that is that at the moment. But yeah, again, I am sometimes a bit of a difficult case when it comes to stuff like that, because literally I think it could be like winter and I will still get issues with my top lip. It is just something that is the bane of my existence, especially when it comes to makeup, because it just looks so stupid. But thinking about the rest of my face, I can definitely see some dry parts on the top of my nose, which again is another section that can be slightly difficult for me. But everything else I feel looks quite nice coverage wise. Really nice. You don't need like a super full coverage, so you don't need to keep on building it up. Like, I put on like one layer and then a little bit more, and I feel like that's kind of perfect. Longevity wise, I can't obviously talk about that because I'm not going to have it on for very long, because when I do these kind of testing videos I don't tend to keep them on for very long. But coverage wise, I think it's done great. I will definitely wear it again soon, like if I'm going out somewhere and I just want to put on like a really quick kind of foundation. This is definitely a quick one. I mean, again, you do have to put on like a layer and a bit, but that's totally fine. Let me know what you think. Have you purchased it? Do you think it was worth the wait? I mean, for me, I think it's quite decent. Again, I wouldn't pay £40 for this. I initially didn't pay £40 because I purchased it with like my staff discount from where I work, so it is slightly cheaper, but that's just on my end. But I feel like it's okay. I'll see how long it lasts for, because it's, again, I like the fact that the pipette will kind of control it so you don't overuse it. And the shade I think has done quite well. Like pale pasty wise, I think I've done all right. But yeah, we'll see how it goes in the future. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on any of my social medias, because I'm always active on there, and appreciate you sitting down listening to me ramble on. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.